Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 horror movies where evil wins.
Think what you're doing! Think! In the name of God, think what you're doing!
Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
For this list, we're looking at horror films without happy endings. Since we'll be dealing with major plot points here, a spoiler alert is in effect. Be sure and tell us which sinister cinematic conclusions you'd pick in the comments.
If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
Number 10, Night of the Living Dead. Much has been written about the social commentary of director George Romero's 1968 zombie classic. The casting of Dwayne Jones in the lead role as Ben is remembered today as being progressive for the times, and critics saw the character's tragic fate as being particularly resonant. In the finale, sole survivor Ben seems to have emerged from this night of terror unscathed, only to be mistaken for one of the living dead by a group of zombie hunters and killed.
All right, Vince, hit him in the head, right between the eyes.
It's a real punch in the gut, and that hollow feeling you're left with is further compounded by shots of bodies being burned by the group. Number 9, Seven.
This guy paid me $500 to bring it out here, man.
By now, most horror fans already know what's in the box at the end of David Fincher's 1995 crime thriller. Played by Kevin Spacey, John Doe has committed grisly crimes inspired by the 7 deadly sins. But in the film's climax, police take him into custody, seemingly ending his reign of terror. That is, until Doe's final act pushes Detective Mills, played by Brad Pitt, over the edge.
It seems that envy is my sin.
Oh, what's in the box?
Upon learning that it is, in fact, the head of his pregnant wife Tracy in the box, Mills becomes the embodiment of wrath. He shoots Doe's character, and in doing so, effectively completes the serial killer's plan to die as a martyr. With this last bit of bloodshed, Seven's grim narrative comes to an even more downbeat conclusion. Number 8, The Blair Witch Project.
I hear him downstairs. Come on! I hear him downstairs! Come on!
The Blair Witch Project achieved a great deal with very little when it was released back in 1999. The film, which was produced on a shoestring budget, created buzz with an excellent viral marketing campaign, one that made the most of an early internet age. It's credited with popularizing the found footage style of filmmaking pioneered by Cannibal Holocaust back in 1980, and delivered a similarly bleak ending. In it, the dark surroundings and shaky cam are used to perfect effect as Heather, Mike, and Josh get their wish to meet the mythical Blair Witch. The image of Mike standing in the corner and Heather's anguished screams cutting to silence haunted moviegoers for years. Number 7, The Witch.
Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
The ending of The Witch seemed to divide audiences. Some viewers wanted a more ambiguous ending, others a more grounded rationale behind the supernatural goings-on in the film. Old-school horror buffs, however, received a satisfying and very spooky sequence that embraces the film's occult elements, which had previously been kept largely off-screen.
I cannot write my name.
Black Phillip is indeed the devil, and initiates sole survivor Thomasin into his coven of witches after the decimation of her family. The ending imagery of Satan and his minions laughing and flying into the night is the stuff of nightmares, and a true callback to horror's golden age. Number 6, The Descent. Okay, so for this one, we're going with the ending shown in the United Kingdom. In this version, Shauna MacDonald's Sarah Carter hallucinates that she escapes from her deadly spelunking adventure, only for it to be revealed that she actually never left the cave, and is about to be the last of her friends to fall victim to the crawlers. It's a kick in the teeth that leaves us shaken and disturbed, but not one that American audiences were able to see until the film was released on home video. Instead, they got a more ambiguous ending in which Sarah escapes the cave and gets in her car, only to hallucinate a jump scare of Natalie Mendoza's Juno Kaplan instead. Boo! Number 5, Hereditary. All hail King Paimon. Okay, so by now you might be feeling sick of downer endings, but buckle up because we still have 5 to go. 2018's Hereditary wowed audiences and critics with its careful balancing act, combining grounded depictions of grief with a dedication to old-school, shocking, supernatural horror. The ending in particular delivered the latter in spades. From Annie's unnerving possession scene to Peter being crowned as king of a new occult coven.
Charlie. You're all right now.
It's dark, it's unsettling, and it's unafraid to push boundaries with both its graphic execution and relentlessly depressing tone. In other words, don't expect a Hereditary franchise of sequels anytime soon.
Hail Haven!
Number 4, The Omen. How could one possibly take the life of a child? That is what diplomat Robert Thorne has to ask himself when he discovers that his adopted son is actually the spawn of Satan. The Omen continues to pose the same question to audiences all the way to its thrilling finale, when Thorne brings his son Damien to a church altar, determined to kill the Antichrist.
Please, Daddy, no! No, Daddy, no!
Thorne begs God for forgiveness, but isn't given the chance to finalize the deed before being shot by police. The film ends with young Damien victorious, smiling softly at the camera, letting us know that he's one step closer to fulfilling his unholy destiny. Number 3, Rosemary's Baby.
What have you done to it? What have you done to its eyes?
Rosemary's Baby is another horror classic that could have easily taken the metaphorical route with its plot. Instead, it chose to have its titular protagonist literally assaulted by the devil and impregnated with his child. Roman Polanski's adaptation of Ira Levin's novel isn't mere exploitation, however, exploring pregnancy, neurosis, and women's rights in a horror context.
No! It can't be! No!
Look at his hands.
And his feet!
The ending, where Rosemary's Baby is taken in by a coven of witches, is made all the more memorable by the fact that we never actually see the child. Rosemary's horrified reaction and then tentative resignation to her status as the mother of the Antichrist, however, speaks volumes. Number 2, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Philip Kaufman's 1978 classic is one of horror's all-time best remakes, a near-perfect amalgamation of the decade's internal paranoia with sci-fi body horror. The film is also quintessentially 70s with regards to its ending. The decade saw movies of all genres beginning to turn away from the neat and tidy endings of old. Invasion of the Body Snatchers has the alien pods swiftly moving towards total assimilation of the populace, with only 2 of our characters seemingly surviving undercover by remaining as emotionless as possible. The reveal is horrifyingly spectacular, however, when the newly assimilated Matthew howls at Nancy. That pointed finger and horrifying facial expression is burned into our brains forever. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. The Vanishing. Our protagonist is buried alive. The Cabin in the Woods. The Elder Gods return. Hellfest. From killer to family man.
Daddy, you're home! Did you bring me anything?
Wreck. Dragged into darkness. Drag Me to Hell. It's right there in the title. Jeepers Creepers. the creeper gets his victim.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The Wicker Man.
Think what you're doing! Think! In the name of God, think what you're doing!
It's one of the most downbeat endings of all time. Forget that Nicolas Cage nonsense. We're going old school for the OG Wicker Man from '73. A horror film that makes no bones about killing its lead protagonist. Or does it? Edward Woodward's Sergeant Howie is shown right from the get-go as being distrustful of pagan beliefs thanks to his Christian upbringing. So from the villagers' perspective, they might not feel they're doing anything wrong.
It is the Lord who hath laid waste your orchards!
Still, that doesn't lessen the impact of seeing the character we've been following deceived and ultimately sacrificed by an entire island of conspirators. The sound of Howie's final pleas to God for mercy, delivered from within the Wicker Man as he's burned alive, will haunt you.
So, do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.